Hello everyone and welcome to English Premium 88. My name is Snjezana and in today's lesson you have the opportunity to test your knowledge of various verb tenses and constructions in English language and of course to learn something new. I hope you're ready. Let's get started. Before we start with today's lesson, let's read our instructions. Write out the sentences using the most logical tense. This is very important, logical tense or form of the verbs in brackets. The underlined words should be put in their correct position in relation to the verb. Okay, let's have a look at the first sentence. Hi, I tried to phone you all week. Where are you? The verb try suggests that something was attempted several times, at least twice. Adverbial phrase all week also suggests repetition of an action. And in cases when we are trying to do something several times with no success, suggests that there is a chance that we will be annoyed or irritated or upset. All these three things combined are clear indication that we need to use present perfect continuous. The question that follows asks for a period of time, in this case all week, which is a clear indication that we need to use present perfect simple. That's right. Hi, I have been trying to phone you all week. Where have you been? Excellent. Next example. I don't think we meet before. Well, I see you once at a party, but we not be introduced then. The word before points to the period lasting from, let's say, our birth until this moment, the moment of speaking, which is a clear indication that we need to use present perfect simple, of course. The next sentence contains the word once, which suggests one particular point in the past, which means we need to use simple past tense of the verb see. And the word then at the end of the sentence refers back to that point in the past, once at the party, which means that again we need to use past simple, simple past. Weren't. I don't think we have met before. Well, I saw you once at the party, but we weren't introduced then. Excellent. Next sentence. It looked as if this light burned all night. I must forget switch it off before I go to bed last night. It might seem complicated, but it really isn't. In this sentence, the verb look is used with the meaning it seems, it appears, and none of these verbs can be used in continuous tenses. The obvious choice here would be present continuous, but since we can't use these verbs in continuous form, the only other option we are left with is the other present tense, and that is simple present tense. Also, the adverbial phrase all night gives us the period of time in the recent past. And in this case, because the light is obviously on, we need to emphasize that duration and we will use present perfect continuous. That's right. Then we are making a conclusion about what has possibly happened in the future, meaning typically expressed by must, which is followed by bare perfect infinitive. The verb that follows, the verb switch, needs to be in infinitive, not in ing form, in order to express the meaning of failing to do something, that is, forgetting to do something. And finally, the phrase last night gives us a specific point in the past, a clear indication that we need to use simple past tense. It looks as if this light has been burning all night. I must have forgotten to switch it off before I went to bed last night. Excellent. Sentence number 4. Come in now. I'm sorry keep you wait so long. If we want to apologize for something we have done in the recent past, we can use this phrase, I'm sorry, followed by the perfect infinitive. Not bare perfect infinitive, but perfect infinitive with to. The verb wait needs to be in ing form because of the dictionary entry, because of the collocation itself. Keep someone doing something. Come in now. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting so long. Our next example. I buy the book, but when I hear the opinion of the critics, I change my mind. In this sentence, we want to say that we wanted to do something in the past, but that we didn't do it because of something else that happened. So something else prevented us from doing something we intended to do. One of the ways we can express our intention in the past is to use would, which will be followed by bare perfect infinitive. The word when is a clear indication that we need to use past simple. And the following verb just describes what happened next. So it will also be in the past simple. It's a chronological past. I would have bought the book, but when I heard the opinion of the critics, I changed my mind. There is also another possibility to express our intention in the past, and that is the past form of the verb going to. So we could say, I was going to buy the book, but when I heard the opinion of the critics, I changed my mind. Let's have a look at sentence number 6. At last, you are here. I wait here for more than half an hour. I might know you be late. Again, at last you are here. The whole sentence starting with at last suggests something has been going on for a long time. Too long, in your opinion, and you are annoyed with waiting. Do you remember which tense we use in these situations? Of course, present perfect continuous. For things we were able to guess in the past based on our knowledge of things, we use again bare perfect infinitive after a modal verb. In this case, modal verb might. This clause is followed by our prediction put in the past context, therefore, would be. At last, you are here. I have been waiting here for more than half an hour. I might have known you would be late. Sentence number 7. My father worked in Canada for the last year, so by the time he returned the month after next, I not see him for 14 months. Again, it might seem complicated, but it really isn't. The phrase for the last year suggests that we need to use perfect tense. Since this job is obviously a temporary one, then we need to use present perfect continuous. The phrase by the time in this sentence suggests the end point of an activity, in this case, end of temporary job placement in Canada and return home, the date of which is already known and is expressed by the phrase the month after next. And in this case, we need to use present simple in this clause. The phrase for 14 months expresses again the periods, and for periods of time we typically use simple perfect tenses. In this example, we need to use future perfect simple as we are talking about period that will last for 14 months, including the months that follow. Okay? So we say, my father has been working in Canada for the last year. So by the time he returns the month after next, I won't have seen him for 14 months. Excellent. Sentence number 8. When you see him again, you be struck by the way his health improve since he go to Switzerland. The first part of the sentence is a typical example of complex sentence consisting of when clause and the main clause, which has the form of first conditional sentence. In this case, we know that in when clause, we need to use present simple. And in main clause, will be followed by infinitive. The word since is a clear indication, that's right, that we need present perfect before it and simple past after it, because we need a specific point in the past after since, which in this case is expressed by past simple. When you see him again, you will be struck by the way his health has improved since he went to Switzerland. Sentence number 9. If you tell me you already buy the book, I not give it to you as a birthday present, but now it be too late. Again, seems complicated, but it really isn't. The whole sentence tells us that something has failed to happen because someone failed to do something in the past. And this is a clear example of the third conditional, which is used to express unreal conditions in the past, conditions that haven't been fulfilled sometime in the past. In this type of conditional sentence, we use past perfect in the if clause and would followed by the bare perfect infinitive in the main clause. If we go back to that first part of the sentence, if you had told me, we see that after this part we have that clause where that is not expressed, it is omitted. And in this case, again, we are talking about something that happened before the activity, before this telling, which has already been expressed with the past perfect. Since we cannot go further back in the past from past perfect, we have no other choice but to use past perfect once again. And finally, the word now tells us that we need to use present simple of the verb to be. If you had told me, but you didn't, you had already bought the book, I wouldn't have given it to you, but I did, as a birthday present. But now it is too late. And the last sentence in today's lesson. You can't remember, tell him how to get there. If you have, he arrived long before now. When we read these examples, it is clear that they are put in the past. We have already mentioned that for making assumptions in the past, we use modals followed by bare perfect infinitive. What we want to say here is that it is not possible that you did that you remembered. And in this case, we say, you can't have remembered. So that means it's not possible that you remembered. The verb remember needs to be followed by infinitive, not ing form, because we need to say that you forgot to do it. If we used ing form, the meaning would be completely different. In the next sentence, which is clearly third conditional sentence, the verb remember is omitted because it is clear from the context that the main verb already is used in the previous sentence. So we just need to put verb have in the simple past. And of course, in the main clause, we need to have would, which will be followed by bare perfect infinitive. You can't have remembered, that's impossible, to tell him how to get there. If you had, he would have arrived long before now, but he didn't arrive, okay? That brings us to the end of today's lesson. If you would like to see more of these videos on this channel, make sure you hit that button subscribe and of course give us thumbs up. See you soon.